Hey guys, good evening. I was going to say good afternoon. My days have been hectic around here. Anyway, I should take a picture. I think I may take a picture and show you guys what's taking place around this home, around the homestead. Give you guys an idea what's going on. But anyway, there has been a tag going around from good old Jim. From hunting, fishing, and praying. And this open tag is show 5 knives. Show 5 knives. Why you would never get rid of them. Why you would never get rid of them. And you have to hashtag that. Hashtag my favorite 5. Okay? So, at the end of your video, when you write your caption, write hashtag my favorite 5. Now, I've got 5 knives here that I've put up on this table, and mine's going to be a little interesting to you guys, I do believe, because I've only got one knife that is very, very, very sentimental to me out of the 5. I don't have many knives that people or family members or people gave me that I could say this was given to me by my uncle and, I remember this special time and all that. I wish I had knives like that, but unfortunately I do not. I've got just one knife that is the most special knife to me. I can't explain what I would do for that knife. And there's stories I told about this knife in the past. When I was moving out of my apartment, it went missing. I stopped the whole move. I stopped everybody. I was about ready to search everybody in my apartment that was helping me. That's how far I was going to take this. Anyway, I've talked about this knife before, but we're not going to start out with that one. But the gist of all this is I don't have many knives that I could talk about that have sentimental value. I wish I did. Also, one last thing. I have got we're going on 30 years of collecting knives. I have got 30 years in this room here, in my office, of knives. 30 years of collecting pretty hardcore knives, too. I mean, really collecting hard and heavy. So it would be virtually impossible for me just to pick out 5 knives to talk about and why, I would never get rid of them and all that other stuff. There's so many knives that I have. I started to look at them and I was like, I'm just going to pick my 5 favorite knives right now that I've been enjoying, and I'm going to go with it, because I'm just going to beat myself over the head if I do anything else than that. I mean, it gets to the point where it's impossible. I like the tags. I appreciate these open tags with pick the 5 knives and stuff like that, but it's very hard to do. Very, very hard to do. And I've even heard some people say they wouldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. They wouldn't bring themselves to do it. But anyway, this is from Jim, and it's from Hunting, Fishing, and Praying. And we're going to get into it. So, this knife doesn't have any sentimental value to it. This is my marbles knife. This is, I got this a couple years ago. Let me see if I could get this snap undone. I don't know. This is my marbles knife. And This is one of my favorite fixed blades that I have in my collection. Now, I'm a big fixed blade person. I love fixed blades. I just enjoy carrying them on my hip. I think it's a cool thing. I think it's something, when I got that on my hip, and if people see it or spot it, and it's just cool, you know what I mean? I've always been brought up carrying a buck on my hip. I love them leather sheaths, and they don't necessarily have to be leather. I'm going to show you one that's nylon too, because this nylon sheath is really good. But anyway, I'm getting away from the subject. That chair needs oiling. This is a marbles piece that I've always enjoyed, and I've always enjoyed carrying it on my hip, and it was just really a cool piece. I've always been in love with this knife. Always been in love with this knife. From the handle scales, just the way it was built, to the pommel, the brass pommel, the blade shape. You can't get a cooler blade shape. Just everything about it I love, right? It comes with, it came with a really cool leather sheath that reads marbles right here. The back of it is this normal. I don't know what the back reads. The back reads, oh, it's the name of the knife. It's a Woodcraft. It's a Woodcraft. But this is the sheath. And I used to love to keep this on my hip because it was the coolest thing. And I still think it's one of the best knives in my collection. Just love this knife. It's just, I love it. And that's why that's number one. It's going to be a while for this video, isn't it? Because I'm just now getting to my sentimental knife. Here's my sentimental knife, guys. This is my only one I've got. And it's a Camillus. And I think you guys have probably seen this video or this knife before. I'm sure that you've seen this knife before because I've talked about it quite a few times. Genuine Leather USA. And let's take a look at it. Put that right down here. And there is the knife. Could use a little cleaning up. I apologize for that. But here's the knife. Here's the good old Camillus knife. This was given to me by my father. My father wasn't always the greatest man. But this particular day, he came into my room. I'm cutting this short. I'm making this as short as possible. And he was out. He came home from work, I guess. And I was sitting in my room. I was a young boy. And I was sitting in my room probably listening to music. That's what I used to do a lot. I used to sit in my room and listen to music and talk to girls on the phone. That's what I used to do a lot. So he came in my room and he threw this on my bed. The plastic bag. Threw it on my bed. He said, "Here, son." He said, "I might think that you'd enjoy this." I said, "Oh, wow." I said, "Oh, thank you, Pop." I said, "I really appreciate that." So he walked out of the room and I went into the bag and I brought this out and I was like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" I didn't say it like that, but something of those terms probably, that I probably can't say on air. But this was the knife he got for me. I don't know where he found it. I don't know where he got it. To this day, I don't know where he got it. But this is the knife he brought home from me. Camillus, New York, USA. And just a beauty. It's a real beauty. And I wouldn't get rid of this knife if you wanted to cut my left arm off. If it was up to cutting my left arm off are keeping this knife here, I'd say cut the arm off. Cut that arm right off. Get rid of the arm. I don't need it. I got another one. And that's true. That's really true. So this is the only sentimental one I have, and it really, really is sentimental. This one really, really, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because me and my father were really never, ever really close. You know, he was a good guy. I'm not saying he was a bad guy. I'm not saying he had his issues though. You know, everybody has their, what is it called, closet skeletons or whatever. Everybody has their skeletons hanging in the closet, so they say. And he had a few of them hanging in the closet, okay? And like we all do, But these oversized pins in this beautiful wood, brass, bolsters here. This clip point blade is beautiful. Never seen a clip point blade like that in my entire life. Never seen a clip point blade like that in my life. And that's the end of the story there. That's the good old Camillus knife. And I can't let the sheath go anywhere because the sheath is equally as good. Really it is. I have oiled this sheath so many times over the years. This thing is so soft and so supple. It's just a great sheath. It's just one of the best sheaths I've ever seen on a knife, getting a knife. It's awesome. It's awesome. The whole package is awesome. And I can't find this knife anywhere. I can't find one of these. I just cannot find one of these knives. But anyway, that's the story on this Camillus lockback knife. There it is in all its glory. And this was given to me when I was about, I don't know, 13 or probably 14 years old. That's when I was into knives then. And my father knew I loved knives back then. So that tells you how many years I've been into knives, okay? So that's the Camillus knife, and that's my only sentimental story on that. Now we get into the buck knives. I have a lot of buck knives that I don't really show that much of. As a matter of fact, I just ordered a buck knife. The new buck knife of the month with that camo carbon, what is it? The camo, whatever it is. But I'll explain that when it comes in. It's not the covers that sold me on it. But we'll explain that. This one here, when I saw this one come out, it's always been a favorite of mine. Just always fell in love with this knife. It's got, to me, I like spear point blades or drop point blades on a buck knife. I think that they look better. Not saying I don't like clip point blades, because I do. But I just think that the spear point blades, they just look a little bit better to me, in my opinion. You got this beautiful nickel silver bolster here. You've got this rich light. This is called rich light material. And it's got this scalloping or whatever you want to call it. But I just think it's one of the most handsome knives that I've ever put my eyes on. So comfortable in your hand. Love to wear this on my sheath. I get a thrill. That's why this is up here, because I just get an absolute, it makes my heart pump when this is on my hip. And I just love it. This is one of the finest knives, I think, that Buck has put out. And it's a limited edition. You've got the Boss heat treat there. It's got S35 VN steel, and it's a 2023 model, limited edition. And I just like it. That's all. That's the gist of this knife. I just like it, and I enjoy carrying this one. Fun piece to carry, and nice knife. Very, very nice knife. Now, we move on to this one. The reason why this one is up here is because I am a Stockman freak. This is a 1974 Stockman. And to me, I've got two more here. My two favorite pocket knives are a Stockman and a Copperhead. And this one is my Stockman, my 1974 Stockman. And I just love this knife. I can't explain to you why, because I've got about 77 million of them. But this is just the one for me. This this Stockman does it all for me. You know what I mean? And it's just a pretty piece. I'll show it to you in its closed configuration if I can without cutting myself around this camera. But there it is. I guess some would say that's no big deal, but to me it is. And I just love the bone on it. And that's Delrin. I'm sorry, that's Delrin. Okay? That's jigged Delrin. And I don't mind jigging on, or I don't mind Delrin on my knives. It's got the oval shield on it. And I just love this knife, you know what I mean? I just love it. The rounded rounded bolsters. It's a beautiful knife. That's all I'm going to say on that one. 1974. And do I have other older knives? Yeah, I do. But this one to me is beautiful. This is all steel backspacer. No brass on this one, you can see. But I love that. I just love pulling this out, and I just love to admire it, and I just love looking at it. It's one of my favorites. That's the end of that one. And the last one that I have here is my favorite knife of all time. This is my favorite pocket knife of all time. This is my 1984 Copperhead. This is a Copperhead, and the Copperhead is my favorite pattern of all time to carry. Now, this one is bone. It's got beautiful bone on it. Let's flip it over and take a look at the pile side. I think, yeah, the pile side's a little bit better looking. See how beautiful that is, that bone? But we'll get a look at it's got half stops. Just take a look at this blade. If I could keep the fingerprints off it to show you. Look at that blade. That thing is absolutely magnificent. To me, you know, this is just pieces that I pulled out that I'm drawn to, you know what I mean? I just love this blade shape. I just love to see how it just turns in here. See that there? It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. And then, of course, you got that big pen blade. And I mean, they give you that is a big pen blade, okay? But just look at that piece. Love the Copperhead knives. Love those Copperheads. To me, there's nothing that beats a Copperhead. Nothing beats a Copperhead. They have two different variants of Copperheads. This is just one of them. But this Copperhead is one of my favorites. One of my favorites in my collection. I got a lot of Copperheads. I mean, I could show you Copperheads for 2 straight days. But this one here is one of my favorites. That's about the best I could give you. That's about the best I could tell you why it's one of my favorites. And I just love it. The action on it is unbelievable. It's very, very sharp. Like I said, it's very good looking, the bone. And that's why I put this one up here as my 5th one up. And that's what I got. Because if I would have took any more time with this open tag, I would have never got it done. I would have never got it done. I would have just kept on chasing my tail around and around and around and around in circles because it would have never got done. It would have never gotten done, okay? Because that's the way these challenges or open tags are for me. When it's to pick the 5, I can't. I tell you once again, there's no way on earth I can pick 5 knives in my collection that are the ones that the 5 knives I wouldn't get rid of. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I promise you, if you've seen how many knives I have, you would understand what I'm talking about. But I'm doing this open tag to participate. I want to participate in this open tag. And I want to support the people that do these open tags. Like Jim, I want to support Jim because he's doing the open tag. I want to do an open tag. So that's it, guys. We are 22 minutes in. 22 minutes in. But I wanted to get this video out. I wanted to get it out, and I wanted to show you guys what I have. I hope you guys have a great, great evening. It is now 7:30 p.m. in the evening here. And I hope you guys liked seeing what I have up here and enjoyed what I had to say about my knives and what I had to say about good old Pop here with the good old Camillus. Came through in the clutch with the good old Camillus. Again, I was into knives when I was, this couldn't have been, I couldn't have been no older than probably 13 or 14 years old when he walked into my bedroom and tossed this on my bed in the bag. Couldn't have been no older than 13 or 14 years old. That tells you how long I've been into cutlery. Guys, have a great evening. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening with your families. And stay well, guys. Take care now.